what's going to replace the dollar? So you mentioned gold. What about cryptocurrencies? What about Bitcoin? A lot of people are saying it's the new gold. Well, what do you think?
I was a late adopter to cryptocurrency. I was given a physical Bitcoin when I bought a Belgian friend of mine a meal.
A physical Bitcoin? What is that?
Well, they actually exist. They actually exist, and it has the codes printed.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, all right. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so it's kind of a collector's item. I've still got it in my safe deposit box, but if I wanted to put it online, I could collect $40,000 or whatever it's worth today. So
yeah, all right.
That was at $13, but I didn't get into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. I'm very favorably inclined towards Bitcoin because what is money? Okay, there are 5 characteristics of money that Aristotle defined in the 4th century BC. They were valid then; they're still valid now. It's got to be durable, divisible, convenient, consistent. Bitcoin is all of those things, just as gold is. But I was wondering about, well, what's the value proposition? I mean, how do you keep from getting stuck holding the bag with a digital nothing, which is
Isn't the value proposition exactly what you just said, the 4 properties of money? I mean, what's the value proposition of gold besides industrial use?
Well, right. The value, that's correct. It does have a use value other than as money itself. It's used as, gold, people forget, is the most, it's not the most reflective. That's silver. It's not the most conductive. That's silver. It's very close to that, though. But it is the most durable. It's the most non-reactive of all naturally occurring elements. And that gives it increasing industrial uses, but they're trivial by comparison to its use as money. The value proposition for Bitcoin is that it's a very portable and transferable form of wealth. In other words, gold has disadvantages. You have some, you got to cross a border with it and you've got to store it. I mean, Bitcoin is a way to cross borders easily. Most people don't realize that 3/4 of the people on this planet lived in blocked currency countries where your kwacha or your pula or your dirham or all these crazy currencies, they're worth absolutely zero outside of the geographical place that issues. But with a smartphone and a Bitcoin, you can go anywhere. So that's the real value proposition for Bitcoin. Also, its supply is limited. I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I don't know how bullish because, listen, it's already, well, look, we can talk about what's the value.
Who knows how high it could go or how low, but I'm just wondering whether or not you think it's a contender for replacing the dollar like gold is. You mentioned that gold, we could see a return to, gold as money, otherwise potentially known as the gold standard. Could we potentially see a Bitcoin standard as well?
Well, it's already happened in El Salvador.
Sure.
The current president of El Salvador, a fellow by the name of Bukele, El Salvador, incidentally, is one of the countries in the world that uses the dollar as its de jure, not just its de facto currency. They don't have a national currency.
That's right.
So now they're using Bitcoin. Okay. And the U.S. is very, very unhappy with that. Very, very unhappy with that, just as they were very unhappy when Saddam Hussein and Muammar Gaddafi were making motions to use gold as money in some form in those countries. So I don't think the Bukele will last. I think the U.S. is going to replace him because he's using Bitcoin as money. But sure, it can work because the world is digital. Everybody's got a smartphone. The one thing that I don't want to see happen, and nobody should want to see happen, is a central bank digital currency where the U.S. government says, well, let's digitize the dollar. We'll give you an account with the Fed. But at that point, you'll be like Will Smith in that movie, Enemy of the State, where everything that you own is basically can be locked down and confiscated, as the Canadian truckers have recently found, and the people that contributed to them. So there's a reason why money should be private and privatized. It shouldn't even be a function of the state, quite frankly. I mean, this is a very bad idea. That's why I like gold for money, because you don't rely on the state. It's actually owning gold is actually a bet on the stupidity of government, which is for the long term is always a good bet.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information. And it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
I have bad news for you. If you're not rich by now, you're screwed. And if you're in debt, you're even double screwed. How so, you might wonder? Well, the sad truth is that you're working your whole life to make someone else rich. The mega corporations, the banks, the politicians, everyone is getting richer. They get your money. And what is even worse, they get your time, they get your life. You are not even in a rat race, you're in a financial prison. But what could a solution for you look like? Honestly, I don't know, but I know what a solution for me would look like. It's very simple. I use whatever money I have and I multiply it with 1,000. This could make my life much easier and probably yours as well. If you have $1,000 available and multiply this with 1,000, I believe that this could solve some financial issue for the one or the other. Of course, if you're ugly, you would have to multiply it with much more than 1,000. My name is Marco Stan, and this is what I decided to do. I decided to 1000x my money. This is not a joke. I know what you may be thinking. What is this guy talking about? How should this work? This is not possible. Well, I made a detailed video where I laid out my plan. And some clever folks might even want to look at this plan and copy it and do exactly what I do. This is just a little hint on the side. You have two options. You leave, you forget what you have seen. You do whatever you're doing and you hope that somehow you get some other results. Good luck with that. Or you click the link below the video. You enter your email address because I'm not showing this to everybody. You at least watch my video on how I plan to 1000x my money. The choice is yours. Make the right choice. Join me. See what a different future you could have. See at least how I plan to do the 1000x. So click on the link below, enter your email address, and I see you on the other side. Your Marco Stan.